Hi, I'm Safety Sam here at Northeast Safety. Thank you for considering Northeast Safety for future employment. We hope your employment goals are met and you are part of our team for years to come. A few key points before we proceed. Northeast Safety is an equal opportunity employer. Your flagger position is considered a part-time, on-call position, which means that you may work 15 hours per week or 60 hours per week. Many factors play into the number of hours available, with the weather being the major factor. If you need a set number of hours or can only work between certain hours, you may want to reconsider the application process. Applicants that are able to work Monday through Friday between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. will be considered first. Now, here are a few job requirements. You must be at least 18 years of age. You must have a valid driver's license, reliable vehicle, and a phone, cell, or landline. Traveling daily, up to 100 miles, could be required. You must be able to tolerate all inclement weather. Can you read road maps and follow directions to work sites? This is a must. Must be able to use a wide range of arm and hand motions to direct traffic. Must be able to stand for extended periods of time. Must have good vision and hearing to direct traffic. All flaggers must transport their equipment daily. Do you meet all the requirements? Excellent. Let's proceed with the main DOT safety video. The following safety video was designed to help you understand exactly what is expected while on our customers' job sites. Please pay close attention.
Your safety, the safety of your fellow workers, and the safety of the driving public will depend on you performing your flagging operations properly. The minimum qualifications of a flagger are a sense of responsibility, a neat appearance, a courteous but firm manner, mental alertness, and the ability to react quickly. A good flagging operation is not something that just happens. It's the result of planning, good training, and following proper flagging procedures.
This program was developed to help prepare you to be a flagger. As a flagger, you're in contact with the public more than anyone else on your job. Your attitude and appearance directly affect the public's view of operations. A flagger's responsibility are critical in keeping the work zone safe for workers, pedestrians, and the traveling public, and therefore their sole responsibility is to flag. Your first responsibility as a flagger is to have the proper clothing and equipment in good condition. Improper equipment reduces the driver's ability to understand your instructions. Neat dress and appearance also help you gain the driver's respect, making your job that much easier. During daytime work, the flagger's vest, shirt, or jacket shall be orange, yellow, strong yellow-green, or fluorescent versions of these colors. Apparel shall be ANSI Standard Class 2, and for nighttime work, apparel shall be ANSI Standard Class 3. Maine DOT requires safety glasses and hard hat with reflective material be worn. This clothing makes you more visible to traffic and makes you stand out from the other workers. Footwear shall comply with current Maine DOT policy. The main traffic control device used by flaggers is the stop slow paddle. This sign must be retroreflective, octagon shaped, at least 18 by 18 inches, with 6-inch high letters. A 24 by 24 sign may be used when higher visibility is needed. The paddle shall be mounted on a handle that measures at least 6 feet high. A work zone is made up of 5 main sections: the advanced warning area, a transition area, buffer space, work area, and the termination area. Each area serves a very important role in ensuring a safe work zone. The advanced warning area is that area the drivers see first when they enter your work zone. In most situations, there are multiple signs located in the advanced warning area. These include the road work ahead sign, a 1-lane road ahead sign, and a flagger symbol sign. Sign spacing shall comply with the current pocket field guide. The flagger symbol sign must be in place and facing traffic when a flagger is present. The distance between the flagger and the sign shall also comply with the pocket field guide. In a mobile operation, such as paving, sign placement shall comply with Maine DOT approved traffic control plan for a mobile operation. The transition area is generally made up of a taper of 50 to 100 feet long. This allows traffic to move out of its normal driving path using traffic control devices to delineate the flow of traffic. The flagger will stand on the shoulder of the road at the first cone in the taper. The activity area consists of 3 areas: the buffer space, the workspace, and the traffic space. The buffer space creates a safety cushion for those vehicles that fail to yield to the flagger. At no time should personnel, vehicles, or material be located in the buffer space. The workspace is where the work is actually being done. It is set aside for workers, equipment, and material storage. This space is generally occupied by construction vehicles and workers. The traffic space is that part of the roadway that is open for public travel throughout the activity area. At the end of the work zone is the termination area, which moves the traveling public back into its normal flow of traffic. The termination area consists of a downstream taper and should have 5 cones totaling 100 foot maximum in length. In those situations where 5 cones are not feasible, then a minimum of 3 cones may be used, but always allow for the flagger to be positioned 100 feet from the end of the workspace. This allows large vehicles room enough to safely move back into their normal driving lane. Before beginning any flagging operation, advanced warning signs must be in place. For most flagging operations, this will include a road work ahead sign, a 1-lane road ahead sign, and a flagger symbol sign. In some cases, other advanced warning signs may be used, but in all cases the flagger sign must be in place before flagging begins. Once the signs are in place, continue setting up the work zone by starting with the taper. Set up the traffic control devices throughout the work zone, ending with the downstream taper. Have flaggers stop traffic in both directions while cones are put in place. With traffic control devices in place and with proper equipment, the flaggers may now begin controlling traffic. Because drivers are sometimes tired, preoccupied, or impaired, You must remain alert at all times. Stay on your feet, facing oncoming traffic. Always stand alone, in a high visibility location, away from other workers and work vehicles. However, never stand directly in the path of an approaching vehicle. Avoid standing in a shadow or with anything inhibiting your escape area. When a flagger is required to direct traffic in an area where the escape route is partially blocked by a traversable object such as a guardrail, the flagger shall be physically capable of traversing that obstruction. Prior to commencing a project, the supervisor in charge should review the project, including guardrail area, for safe flagging stations. The flagger should clearly communicate with the supervisor, indicating any locations where they cannot safely perform their duties. Generally, flagging operations require 3 basic skills: stopping, releasing, and slowing traffic. To stop traffic, stand on the shoulder of the roadway, with the stop paddle away from your body, on or near the edge of pavement. If possible, allow trucks and delivery vehicles to pass through and stop a passenger vehicle as your lead car for maximum visibility. Look directly at the approaching traffic and turn the paddle to stop. Raise your free hand with the palm exposed to the approaching driver. Make eye contact with the driver. After you have stopped the first vehicle, then walk out to the center of the roadway so the additional approaching traffic can see the stop paddle. Do not cross the center line. Remember to watch out for traffic that may be coming from behind you. Never stand in the path of oncoming traffic. Before you release traffic, move back to the shoulder. Keep your paddle on stop until you are safely on the shoulder of the road. Only then may you release traffic. There are 2 ways to release traffic. The first way is from the closed lane. To release traffic from the closed lane, turn the slow side of the paddle to face the vehicles. With your free arm, signal the drivers to proceed into the open lane. Be direct and point in the direction you want the traffic to go. Never wave the paddle. After all the vehicles have passed, turn your paddle to stop and wait for the next vehicle. The second way to release traffic is from the open lane. After the road is clear ahead, display the slow paddle to the drivers. With your free arm, motion the drivers to proceed. Again, be direct and deliberate in your motions. In some cases, you may not need to stop traffic but only slow it down. In these cases, always stand on the shoulder of the road. Display the slow paddle to oncoming traffic. Use your free arm to motion traffic to slow down. Remember, never stand in the path of oncoming traffic. If you learn these 3 basic skills, you'll be well prepared for any flagging operation. Situations will vary and how you apply these skills will differ from project to project. Remember, never start any flagging operation until advanced warning signs are in place. These signs tell the driver that you are controlling traffic ahead. Without these advanced warning signs, the driver does not expect you to be in the roadway. Now let's look at some typical situations a flagger may face. The first situation is a single flagger operation. In rare situations, one flagger may be used to control traffic on a low-volume, 2-lane road. Where only one flagger is used, the work area must be short and on a straight section of roadway. The flagger must be visible to approaching traffic from both directions. In a single flagger operation, the flagger stands on the shoulder directly across from the work area, so that the flagger is visible to traffic approaching from either direction. Then the flagger can assign right-of-way with the paddle. Remember, a single flagger operation is only acceptable for low-volume conditions where there is good sight distances from both approaches and the work area is short. The second situation, and probably the most common, is the two-flagger operation. When two flaggers are used, they must always be able to communicate with one another. This can be done by either visual contact or by using radios. Radio contact is the preferred method. Radio communication should be kept to necessary conversation. When radio communication is not being used, then flaggers must have visual contact with each other. In this situation, the operation normally works like this. One flagger displays the stop side of the paddle and stops traffic, while the second flagger displays the slow paddle and releases traffic. The first flagger continues to display the stop paddle and stop all traffic until the second flagger turns their paddle to stop and gives an all-clear signal. This signal tells the second flagger to release his or her traffic by displaying the slow paddle. The all-clear message may be given visually by using a hand signal such as lifting one's hand, or by use of the stop-slow paddle. Be careful, however, not to use hand signals that may confuse the motorist. When visual contact is not possible, such as over hills or around curves, or due to equipment in the work area, then radios are the best way to maintain communication between flaggers. Remember, communication between flaggers is vital, and radios are the best way to maintain that communication. It is never acceptable for the flagger to be stationed in the lane to see the other flagger better. When using radios, the first flagger releases traffic and identifies the last vehicle to the second flagger. The first flagger will then turn their paddle to the stop position. When the last vehicle clears the second flagger can display the slow paddle and release their traffic. The third situation is nighttime flagging operations. These procedures are generally the same as daytime, except for some equipment changes. While a retroreflectorized vest and a retroreflectorized stop-slow paddle are required for both daytime and nighttime flagging operations, for nighttime, ANSI Class 3 apparel to include retroreflectorized pants is recommended. To stop an approaching vehicle, stand on the shoulder of the road, holding the stop paddle away from your body. Do not stand in the travel lane. To release traffic, turn the paddle to slow and direct traffic to proceed by pointing into the open lane. The flagging station shall be lit by auxiliary lighting. Remember to take into consideration the drivers and position these lights in a way that will not blind oncoming traffic. This is the safest way to flag at night. Street lights and vehicle headlights are not sufficient. The more visible you are, the easier it is for the driver to see you and follow your instructions. The fourth situation involves only one flagger, restricting only one direction of traffic. An example of this is an area where trucks are loading or unloading and are blocking the lane. The flagger stops traffic in the usual manner. Once the work has been completed and the way is clear, the flagger releases traffic. When releasing traffic on a two-lane highway, where traffic is stopped temporarily, in only one lane, turn the paddle a quarter turn, so that the word stop faces you. In this position, the sign is parallel to the shoulder of the road so that neither the stop nor slow can be read by the motorist approaching from either direction. The stop message then will not confuse the traffic. If during normal flagging operations an emergency vehicle approaches your work zone, both directions of traffic should be stopped immediately. Traffic should be allowed to clear the travel space if there is traffic in the lane. Once the travel space is clear, the flagger shall direct the emergency vehicles through the work zone. In some situations, the workspace moves and the flagger station needs to be relocated. Flagger stations shall be located such that approaching road users will have adequate warning and sufficient distance to stop at an intended stopping point. The flagger advanced warning signs shall be moved when the flagger station is moved. When flagging operations are not active, the flagging signs should be covered or removed. As soon as the work is completed and the activity area has been cleared of all equipment and workers, stop traffic in both directions and remove the traffic control devices such as cones or barrels or barricades. Start by removing the cones in the reverse order of installation, beginning at the termination area and working back to the first device installed. At this point, traffic may be released. Then begin to remove the signs closest to your work area and continue to remove them against the flow of traffic.
Now let's summarize the 5 flagging situations we've just discussed.
Single flagger operation. This operation is acceptable for low volume conditions where there is good sight distance and the work area is short. 2 flagger operation. This is the most common flagging procedure. A flagger works on each end of the work zone to control the movement of traffic through the work area. Good communication between flaggers is critical during this operation. Nighttime flagging operation. This can be a dangerous operation because of poor visibility at night. All traffic control devices, including cones, signs, barrels, and paddles, shall be retroreflective, and the flagging station shall be illuminated. 1 flagger restricting one direction of traffic. This operation is normally used where one lane of traffic is periodically blocked. Emergency flagging. If during normal flagging operations an emergency vehicle approaches your work zone, both directions of traffic should be stopped immediately. Traffic should be allowed to clear the space. Once the travel space is cleared, the flagger shall direct the emergency vehicles through the work zone. Remember, no matter what flagging procedure is used, always stay alert, face oncoming traffic, stand alone in a good visible location away from other workers and work vehicles, and never stand in the path of approaching vehicles. Everyone, including the motorists, fellow workers, and you, will depend on your ability to properly follow these flagging procedures. If you have any questions about flagging or concerns about your safety as a flagger, contact the on-site supervisor. The supervisor is an important part of a good flagging operation. As a supervisor, be sure that your flaggers understand their duties. Decide which situations require flagging and if flaggers are needed. Don't allow work to begin until the flagger or flaggers are in place. Select flaggers carefully. Alertness, good vision and hearing, courtesy, neat appearance, common sense, and a sense of responsibility are required. Flaggers must be trained by a certified trainer. Be sure your flaggers have the proper equipment and that flagger signs are in place before flagging begins. Schedule routine breaks for your flaggers. Drive through the work zone and observe the flagging operation. Close calls or skidding means the flagger stations need to be moved or that other problems exist. Flaggers' sole responsibility is to flag traffic. Don't assign other duties, such as placing toms or turning signs. Signs should not be left up after flagging is completed. Remove, fold over, or turn away the flagger ahead sign and other unnecessary signs when flagging is no longer being performed. Do not mislead the public. Remember, mobile operations, when the workspace moves, warning signs must also be moved. If there is an intersection within the workspace, additional flaggers may be needed to control traffic in the temporary traffic control zone. Unless a flagger is a uniformed traffic officer, the flaggers may not override a regulatory traffic control device. Flaggers are only able to stop and release traffic. A uniformed traffic officer is needed to direct traffic. There are 3 items that a supervisor should consider in planning for pedestrian and bicycle safety. Pedestrians and bicyclists should not be led into the direct conflicts with worksite vehicles, equipment, or operations. Pedestrians and bicyclists should not be led into direct conflicts with traffic moving through or around the worksite. Pedestrians and bicyclists should be provided with a safe, convenient travel path that replicates as nearly as possible the most desirable characteristics of sidewalks or footpaths. Most flagging operations require at least the following traffic control devices: 2 road work ahead signs, 2 one-lane road ahead signs, 2 flagger ahead signs, 6 stands, 2 stop slow paddles, and at least 15 cones.
Flagging is one of the most important jobs in any construction, maintenance, and utility operation. It is also one of the most dangerous. Motorists, bicycles, and pedestrians should be guided in a clear and positive manner while approaching and traveling through a work area. However, with proper training, equipment, and procedures, flagging can be safe and effective. It's going to be completely ad-libbed, I bet. If you have any questions about safety, your safety in the job, sorry. Your safety, the safety of your fellow workers, and the safety of the driving public will depend on you performing your duties. My God. I feel like Tom Hanks gone bad. Your safety, the safety of your fellow employees, and the safety of the driving public result